Good morning and welcome into the Lifeline Morning Show. I'm Steven. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Well, you know what? I've got your inspiring quote coming up next, so I hope you stick around. But first, a song. Here's Zach Williams. I thought maybe this would be a great time to talk with my listeners on the podcast. I just wanted to let you know that this is actually from a radio show. And if you like the content that you hear that I'm talking about every day on the podcast, boy, are you going to love the music that's in between. So if you ever have a chance to join me live, I'm live from 6 to 10 a.m. Central Time, and I'd love to have you hang out with me. In fact, I'll even shout you out on the radio. Tune us in at 885jfm.com. Click that On Now button and press play. And go ahead and send me an email. It's Steven at 885jfm.com, and I want to shout you out live here on the radio. Thank you so much for making us part of your day. It really means a lot. All right, let's get back to the show. Well, this inspiring quote thing, usually I just use one quote, but this morning I think I'm going to have to use two because they go hand in hand, and I think you'll see why. So the first one says this: you live out the confusions until they become clear. How true is that? And you learn that the longer you live. It's like, if you're confused about something, just give it some time. You'll be able to figure it out. And you might have to try for a little while. Or, you know what? You might not have to try very hard at all. It might just present itself to you. Trying to figure out a situation? Don't know what's going on behind the scenes? Well, we know who does, and that's our Heavenly Father. So, you know what? If you're in confusion right now trying to figure out a situation, why don't you talk to Him about it? He can definitely help you and maybe help you see what's going on behind the scenes because, He's good at stuff like that. So that's the first quote. What's the second quote that goes so well with it? Well, I'm glad you asked because it's from Adam Alter. He says, somewhere between perfect success and abject failure is a sweet spot that maximizes long-term progress. I like that. Now, why do the two go together? Well, lots of times we're in the middle of a process. We're trying to kind of sort out the confusions. We're trying to figure things out and be super successful. And we think, well, we haven't quite made it until we reach that success. But I think maybe we discount where we're at in the process. You see, it's not all about reaching the top of the ladder or the top of the mountain. It's more about how you're getting there. How are you becoming that big success? What things are you having to add to your life? And what things are you having to take away from your life to be successful? I think it's important that we recognize that. It helps us to grow because after all, it's not about the success. It's more about us. There's so many self-help gurus out there will tell you if you want to invest in your future, then you don't need to invest in the biggest, fanciest stuff, the most expensive equipment. You don't need all the nice tools. You need to focus and invest in you. So remember that. As you become better, things start to elevate around you. So I want you to focus on you today and keep the whole situation in prayer. Why? Well, because you know what? We're not alone. We have each other, and we have an incredible Heavenly Father who wants to see us succeed. But He also wants that relationship, that one-on-one time with us. So maybe it's been a while since you actually did that, since you had that what we call quiet time with the Lord, or you just had a conversation with Him. Well, maybe today needs to be the day that you pick it back up again. And it doesn't have to be some solemn get down on your knees in your closet and bow your head and close your eyes. No, it can be as you're driving down the road, just like you're talking to a friend. And please keep your eyes open, especially if you're driving, and talk with Him. He loves you. He loves conversation with you. So keep that relationship up and watch what He does. Oh, you know what? For us, things are impossible. But for Him, all things are possible. And I think that's worth praising Him a little bit. Here's Micah Tyler to do just that.
I remember when a long lost sinner met a good God.
What a weird journey it is sometimes. You know what I mean? And the longer you live, the more you realize that, hey, you know what? These younger people, they don't quite get me because they don't have the same experiences. And you start making references to movies that you think that they've watched, and you find out that they've never even heard of that movie before. It makes you feel ancient. You know what I mean? Been there before? Oh yeah. I used to be a youth pastor, and that happened to me quite a few times on some pretty relatable stuff. Star Wars, seen it? No, never watched Star Wars. Are you kidding me? Well, first we need to introduce you to Star Wars. But anyway, I wonder if you've ever felt that old. Yeah. We're gonna hear from Steve. And Steve, well, let's just say that he's feeling it these days. You're going to love this. Stick around. Do you remember 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun? I do because, there was a commercial when I was younger. I just committed that to memory. I don't know why I remember these things. I really don't. But I know that I remember them, and there are other people who you rattled it off. As soon as I said it, you knew every word that was next, didn't you? Okay, here's one. How about, since we did McDonald's, let's do Burger King. Hold the pickles, hold the lettuce. Special orders don't upset us. All we ask is that you let us have it your way. Ooh, did you remember that one? Yeah? And there was one my mom used to sing. It was like French fries up your nose and some kind of like pickles between your toes. I forget, but it was like a McDonald's based. It was a fast food song, right? Okay, so now that we've established that we have some memories of things gone by, I think we need to hear from Steve Walker. And I think maybe if you haven't experienced this yet, it's definitely coming. He does too. Here, take a listen.
So I was talking to somebody recently about how McDonald's used to have what was called a dollar menu. And on this menu, everything was just $1. And then it dawned on me, I am old. This is just like the stories my grandpa used to tell me, where he'd grab a quarter and head on down to the cinema to see a nice film. He'd buy a candy bar and a Coke and still have a nickel left over. While I sat on the couch playing my Game Boy Color, rolling my eyes. Okay, Grandpa. So that's it for me, folks. I'm on my way to Walmart right now to buy nipple-high britches. Afterward, I'm going to join the board of my HOA, but not before I stop by Lowe's because I have a coupon for a rake that I found in the paper this morning. So to all you young whippersnappers out there that are feeling good about life, just know it's coming. It's coming!
Thank you for the warning, sir. And yes, I've already experienced some of this, and it's not fun. I'm just 41 years old, so I'm starting to feel that way too. I need to start practicing my old man voice. You young whippersnappers, what are you? Get off my lawn. Usually when I see big round numbers here on my computer, we like to kiss these temperatures, but considering that big round number right now is a 3 and a 0, we don't kiss 30 degrees because our lips would get stuck. So I'm going to save it for the 40s, but don't worry, we're actually getting kind of close. Strangely, it's 29 in Boaz right now, 32 in Arab, 31 in Huntsville, but it looks like one of the warmest spots right now is here in Guntersville. We're sitting at 36 degrees, just 4 degrees away from that nice round number that we are more comfortable kissing. So I'll save my sound effect for that. But in the meantime, let's just be getting our lips ready, okay? All right. Hey, your word of life today comes to you from 1 Chronicles chapter 16, verse 24, in the New Living Translation of the Bible. Publish his glorious deeds among the nations. Tell everyone about the amazing things he does. Oh, that's good stuff right there. And you know what? Yeah, we should want to talk about just how good he is, just how much he's helped us, just what he means to us, because he's awesome. And we need to share that good news with somebody. So, hey, why don't you share this word of life with somebody? It's a great way to share your faith. We've got it ready for you across all of our socials: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, X or TikTok, or X or Twitter, and TikTok. And it's always at the top of our website, 885jfm.com. So, hey, I got some music here, Chandler Moore and Todd Galbraith, but I wanted to let you know, I put these words of life together in photo and video form. And I have a lot of fun doing that. And particularly on this one, publish his glorious deeds. When I saw that word publish, I automatically thought about a newspaper. You know, there's just something about how it's just over and over again, newspaper after newspaper. It has headlines and there's stories, and it just communicates that news. You know, some newspapers, they have some good news. Some, they have some bad news. And lots of times it's a mixture of both. But it's the reason why I chose a man reading a newspaper on the beach, kind of in a raincoat and a hat, and he's got his shoes off. It's an interesting little video. Go over there and check it out and share it with somebody if you would. I like putting a little time into that. So I've been noticing that they've been getting shared a lot more here lately as well. So it's very encouraging for me. So if you would, please go share it with somebody. Thank you. All right, back to the music. Here's Chandler Moore and Todd Galbraith with Good News. Ooh, see what happened there? I don't do this. I don't plan it this way. We just talked about publishing good news, and here's good news. God is so good. He lines this stuff up.
There's a lot of talk going around town.
Okay, so I may or may not have gone to a birthday party over the weekend, and I may or may not have found a size 15 pair of roller skates, put them on, and tried to roll around the rink a little bit. And I may or may not have fallen and banged my knee, but you won't know unless you stick around, because I'll tell you all the details. They're coming up shortly right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. Stick around. Let's have some fun. So I learned my lesson last year. You see, we had this freeze, and I didn't cover up my hydrangea bush, and I didn't have any blooms on it like all year long. It was just leaves. So yesterday we found out it was going to freeze overnight. And I went out to the shed and got my tarps out. And I covered up that hydrangea bush, which is already getting nice and green, by the way. And I had to cover up some other flowers in our flower bed. So, yeah, that freeze, it can really hurt that vegetation out there. So take the proper precautions if you want really pretty flowers this year. And I do. I'm looking forward to some beautiful ones. All right, so skating rink at 41 years old. How did it go, Steven? Stick around. He looked to be in his 60s or 70s out there on the skating rink floor, and that dude was just getting it. I'll tell you more about my experience coming up next. So how was your weekend? Well, let me tell you, I had an absolute blast. It was really busy. We had a lot of fun, but a little sad news at the same time. So we found out that my wife's granddad was having some really bad medical problems. And so they took him to Marshall North, and Marshall North did what they could and sent him home. Except it wasn't enough. He was still sick, and he needed help. So they ended up taking him to Huntsville Hospital, and that's where he stayed. They got there on Friday night, and they didn't have any beds. In fact, they put him on a bed in the hallway in the ER department. And then by about 6:30 the next morning, they finally had a room open up. So we wanted to go and check on Edgar. So we did. We went to Huntsville Saturday morning. We rolled on up there, and Cassie and Grace, they went inside to see Edgar. They have like a 2-person limit, when you have visitors and all that stuff. So I stayed in the truck. And anyway, they went in and saw Edgar. They FaceTimed me while they were in there, and Edgar's doing okay. He's still got to have some tests run and things going on. So please keep him in your prayers. His name is Edgar Ballou. And so we went and visited him. And then, we were invited to a birthday party. Yeah, my daughter's friend, Jovi, she was having her birthday party at Roller Time in Huntsville. And so, hey, you probably heard me talk about skating recently. Like 2 weeks ago, we went to where I used to skate growing up, right? Over in Vinemont at Sports World Skate Center. But this time, it was going to be at Roller Time. I'd never been there before. So we walk in, and I'm thinking, I don't know if I'm going to skate this time, because I did last time, and maybe I should just take that as a victory because I didn't fall. All is well. And, let's just kind of leave it alone. But once I got in there, I noticed this older guy. He's like in his 60s or 70s. And I noticed him as we were walking in. He had this tin, what looked like a lunchbox in his hand. You know what was in that tin lunchbox? Yeah, his personal skates. That dude got out there on the rink and just tore it up. He was just scooting right along, so smooth. And I thought, you know what? If he can get out there and do that, I know I can get out there and do that too. So what did I do? I got myself a ticket. I went over there and I found out they have size 15 skates. And I was so excited because usually I got to cram my foot into a 13 or a 14. This was just the right size. So I strap them on. And here I go around the rink. And the whole time thinking, I don't want to fall. I don't want to fall. And it was weird. I had more anxiety this time than the first time a while back, right? Than 2 weeks ago. I get out there and I'm like, I don't want to fall. I don't want to fall. And I focused on falling. And that was my problem because guess what happened? Yeah, I fell. One time. I hit my right knee. And does it still hurt? Yes. Did I break anything? No. Am I a little sore? Yeah, a little bit. But you know what? I'm okay. I was able to get out there. And it's kind of funny as an adult. I have this Apple Watch, right? And it has like the fitness app and all this stuff on it. And so I like did an indoor workout on it, and it was showing me my heart rate. And I think it was just from the anxiety, just worrying about falling down. I got like 130, 140 beats per minute on my heartbeat. I was stressed out. And anyway, after the fall though, did I let it stop me? No. I got back up and I kept going. I'm surprised I was able to get back up, but I did. I got back up and kept going. And let me tell you something else. These kids had an absolute blast. So many kids there to celebrate. Now, Jovi's got some sisters, and they all had their birthday party together. And it was really a blast. And between skating, I tell you what I did. It's so funny how you can hold kids' attention with simple things. I had a dime and a nickel. And they were right there on top of this table over at the party area. And whenever we weren't skating, we'd go over there and sit down and relax a little bit. And these girls would come and eat a little bit of their pizza, drink a little bit of their drink, and then get back out there and then come back. And they got like nibbled along, They'd go and play and come back and eat, go and play, come back and eat. Anyway, while I'm sitting there, I start messing with these coins. And I taught some of these girls how to play coin basketball. If you've never played that before, let me explain it real quick, and we'll get back to the music, and then we got the car line competition. But basically, I had a nickel and a dime, so you take the coin and you flick it, right, and you make it spin. And as you make it spin, the other person or you, it doesn't matter. Usually, I would flick it and they would try to catch it. So you have to take your thumbs and pinch it, and you have to hold it between your thumbs. And then I would make this basket with my hand, right? And then make this big O shape against my chest there along the table to make a basketball hoop. And my chest was the backboard. And they would have to shoot that coin in. And that's how you play the game. It's coin basketball. And these kids ate that up. We had so much fun. And some of them had never really spun a coin before, which was kind of cool. So anyway, we had a good time. And guess what? During the course of this conversation and this whole time, I'm playing with this girl, and she's like, hold on. Are you that guy who does a car line competition? I'm like, yeah. We listen to it all the time. She said, I can't believe I got to meet you. I've said, I'm so glad I got to meet you. I'm having a blast. So, y'all, I had a good time. My daughter had a good time. My wife had a good time. The kids, it was a blast. If you get a chance to go roller skating, you should take it. And yeah, go ahead. Strap on the skates and give it a try. It'll make you feel like a kid again. It was a lot of fun. For now, though, I think maybe we need to have a good day. And I'll be back with the car line competition. All right, say it with me in 3, 2, 1. Give me the horn! All right, now let's go ahead and crank that engine and let's start that music so I can say, hey everybody, it's time to play the car line competition. It's your chance to win some gift cards this morning. And before we get started, I just want to say a big shout out to Jovi, JC, and Jaylene. Happy birthday. I had such a fun time coming and skating and having a blast with y'all. Y'all are amazing. And happy birthday. All right, now, let's do this thing. I got a question here. Steven, how does this thing work? Okay, let me explain. It's a trivia question. I ask a question, give you the cue to call. You call me up, give me the right answer, and win not 1, not 2, but 3 gift cards. 1 to keep, 2 to give away. Stop talking, Steven. Ask the question. Here we go. All right. What color is cyan? Is it a shade of yellow, blue, black, or red? 256-505-0885 is the number to call. Again, what color is cyan? C-Y-A-N. Is it yellow, blue, black, or red? 256-505-0885 is the number to call. Waiting on your call right now. Again, 256-505-0885. Here's Stephen McCurder with Come Jesus Come. Good morning.
Hey,
what's going on?
I'm heading to the gym.
Heading to the gym. All right, sir. So, how was your weekend?
It was good.
Good.
Watched my granddaughter Lila play volleyball.
Oh, cool. That's always a blast.
They had a volleyball tournament in Boyd.
Did they win?
They won a couple of games. They won 3 games, I think, and then they lost a couple of games. So, yeah.
I got
They
you.
did good. They have gotten medals.
Cool. Wow. Well, this sounds like it was a pretty good weekend then. Well, you want to play my game?
Sure.
Let's do this thing. I got a question for you. What color is cyan? Is it yellow, blue, black, or red?
I think it's Blue.
I think you're correct. Congratulations, sir. three,
Cool.
3 gift cards. What do you think about that?
I think it's good.
Very good. Want to tell me about 2 people you're going to share your gift cards with?
I'm going on a trip to Alaska in the summer with Brent Lusk and his wife, Susan. They're
Oh,
both good friends.
yeah.
I like you. I've known them for years.
Very cool.
They've been good friends to me.
All right.
I think I just want to roll them over.
Oh, okay. We could do that. So you want to get this train rolling, huh?
Keep this train rolling.
All right, man. I hear it in the background. Stanley Marsh, thank you for calling.
Sure.
All right.
Have a good day.
You too. Have a great workout. Bye.
All right, bye.
All right. So we got this train rolling now. You know, that means it turns from 3 to 6 gift cards on this next question. So you think you have what it takes to win some gift cards? Well, let's find out, shall we? All right. Here we go. Water covers what percentage of the Earth's surface? Is it 71, 63, 90, or 81? 256-505-0885 is the number to call. Again, water covers what percentage of the Earth's surface? Is it A, 71, B, 63, C, 90, or D, 81? For 6 gift cards, it's 256-505-0885. Waiting on your call right now. Again, 256-505-0885. In the meantime, some more great music. Torrin Wells, Crazy About You. So I knew it might be a little slow this morning because we do have some kids out on spring break right now. But we're still going to keep going with the car line competition. So I'm going to re-ask that question, but I'm taking 2 of these answers off the board to give you a 50-50 shot. You ready for this? All right, here we go. So the question is this. Water covers what percentage of the Earth's surface? Is it A, 71, or B, 63? 256-505-0885 is the number to call, and there is my caller. I'm going to capture it. Stay on the phone line with me while I start this next song, and I'll get your answer. Here's Hope Darst, If the Lord Builds the House. Coming up, you never quite know who you're talking to on the car line competition. Just so happens, I just had a conversation with a wrestler. Or I should change my voice when I had a conversation with a wrestler. There we go. That's better. Okay. We're going to learn a little bit more about somebody you hear from quite often. And I didn't know. I had an inkling. I had an idea that this guy was involved in some wrestling. But I just found out that indeed that is the case. And we'll all learn it together coming up after Consumed by Fire. When he answers the question, and I think you'll be pretty excited about how he answered it, too. So stick around. 88.5 JFM, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, Richard Duty, what's up, man?
Doing all right. Just now waking up.
I understand. It's kind of weird, this time change. We sprung forward. Are you liking this or what?
Not really.
Me either, man. It just feels weird. It's going to take a while to manage
Yeah.
that. But anyway, I got a question for you, sir, if you want to play my game. Here we go. Water covers what percentage of the Earth's surface? Is it 71 or 63?
We'll say 71.
71 is correct, Richard Duty. 6 gift cards. What do you think about that, man?
I like it.
I like it too.
Keep the train rolling.
Keep the train rolling. We can do that. All right, man. You want to shout somebody out this morning?
Well, I'm going to shout out my wife, of course.
Yeah.
But she's been there for me, and she's always keeps me uplifting when I'm down.
All right. I got you. Now, I want to learn a little bit more about you, Richard. Now, I know you've told me a little bit about your church. You've told me a little bit about wrestling, too. Have you ever been the one wrestling?
Oh, yeah.
Are you kidding me, really?
Oh, yeah.
That is cool. So what's your wrestling name?
Sling Blade?
Sling Blade?
Yep.
Like, y'all got any of them French fried taters? Mm-hmm. That kind of Sling Blade?
Yep. Yep.
Dude, I'm learning more and more about you. You've got layers to you, Richard Duty. So what is your signature move?
It's like the John Cena move.
Okay, I got you. Explain it to me.
Where you pick them up on the shoulder, and you just drop them on the back.
Okay, I got you. Man, I grew up with wrestling. Some of my favorite wrestlers, you got it. You know, Hulk Hogan was huge. Macho Man. Oh yeah, Macho Man. I loved him too.
Right. Right.
Who was your favorite growing up?
I would say Sting.
Sting. Oh, that's a good choice, man. I'm reliving my childhood now. Thank you, Richard,
Yep.
for calling in, man.
Right.
All right.
You're welcome.
We'll get these
Have a
gift
good
cards
day.
rolled over. You too.
All right, bye.
Bye. Yeah, how much fun was that? Sling Blade. I think that is awesome. Richard, you are a very complex guy. I like that I know you. Good friend, man. Thank you for calling me up. And hey, you heard him, right? It's rolling these gift cards over. From 6 gift cards to 9, we've got time for one more question. So let's do this thing. Let's see if you have what it takes to win these gift cards. And here we go. The young of which of these animals would not be termed a kit? Is it a beaver, a guinea pig, a weasel, or a ferret? Which one is not called a kit? Is it a beaver, a guinea pig, a weasel, or a ferret? 256-505-0885 is the number to call. Again, 256-505-0885. And there is my caller. I'm going to capture that phone call. Stay on the line with me while I play this song. It's Laura's Story, and what a savior. 88.5 JFM, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Good, what's your name?
Adeline.
Adeline. All right, Adeline. How was your weekend?
It was good.
Anything special happen?
We have to jump on the trampoline.
Did you do any flips?
Yeah.
You did? Oh, that is awesome. You know, it's always fun jumping on a trampoline. All right, so I wonder if maybe you want to play my game.
Okay.
All right, here we go. My question for you is this. The young of which of these animals would not be termed a kit? Is it a beaver, a guinea pig, a weasel, or a ferret?
Is it a ferret?
No, the young of a ferret would be called a kit, but I'll give you one more shot. Second chance. Here we go. Is it a beaver, a guinea pig, or a weasel?
A weasel?
Nope, it's not a weasel. Oh my goodness, Adeline, I'm so sorry you didn't get it this time, but call me back and play some other time, and we'll have some more fun, okay?
Okay.
All right, it's all good. Now, I hope you have a great day. Are you on spring break or are you going to school?
We're going to school.
Going to school. All right. Hey, have a great day, and call me back sometime soon. Let's play it again, okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Bye.
All right, so that brings us to the end of today's Carline competition. We'll start tomorrow off with 9 gift cards as the train is rolling through. So, yeah, we're going to have some fun. But, hey, we've got like 2.5 hours of show left. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, so I hope you'll stick around. Coming up at 8 o'clock, we're going to hear from a lady who, well, she was able to kind of help her friends out. You see, they have a 13-year-old son, and this 13-year-old kid was just not getting it at school. He just was not doing the good grades. It seemed like he didn't care anymore. He just wasn't trying. At least that's what his parents thought. But it was something else entirely that this kid was really going through. It's a lesson from a 13-year-old boy, and it's coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. I hope all of us parents can be here to hear it because it is so deep. It is so good and such an eye-opening experience, so I hope you'll be here. And if you have to step away from your radio, you can always tune us in online. Go to our website, 885jfm.com, click that On Now button, press play, and you are good to go. All right, more great music here, and we've got your Drive Time Devotion coming up as well. Here's Ben Fuller, If I Got Jesus.
This is Pastor Gary Kraft with your Drive Time Devotion. About 2 years ago, my wife and I heard the news we had been waiting for almost 10 years. Our grown children were eating dinner at our house for Mother's Day and gave my wife a gift. It was a little baby onesie that said, "You can stop asking now." My wife went ballistic, jumping up and down, weeping and hugging our daughter who had just let the secret out. She was pregnant with our first grandchild. I wasn't quite as sharp. It took me a minute to interpret the message, but when it hit me, tears were hard to hold back. Our daughter is such a blessing, along with her husband, and the blessing is multiplying in our granddaughter, who's now 1 year and 2 months old. That's the nature of the gospel, too. The good news that has layers of blessing and increases the more you share it. Jesus said the kingdom of heaven is like seed that finds good soil and produces 100 times over. The more we embrace the truth of the gospel, the more layers of joy, peace, and power we will find, multiplying as we share them. Share the good news with someone today and see new life spring up. Let's pray. Holy Spirit, guide me to someone today that I can share the joy of new life in Christ with so they can experience Him too. In His name I pray. Amen.
Well, it's a really trying time. It's when you're going through school. You learn so much more than just book smarts. You learn, social smarts too. And the teachers, they can really help. But let's be honest, sometimes the workload is just almost unbearable. I remember when I was in school, looking back on it now, this was one of the toughest classes that I ever had in high school. And that was my 11th grade anatomy physiology class. Yeah, I had to have a composition notebook. I had to write diagrams. I had to draw things. I had to learn all this stuff. It was such just a hard class to get through. Looking on it now, though, that some of my fondest memories happened around that class. And actually, the reason why it was so hard is why my daughter now knows most of the bones of her body, because it was ingrained in me. And I have passed it along to her. So whenever I would give her a bath, we talk about all of her different bones, and she could list them off, right? I need to test her these days to see if she still remembers them, because it's been a while. But anyway, we're going to talk a little bit about, when our kids aren't doing that great at school. What could the problem be? Is it that they just don't care? Are they not focusing? Are they not giving it their all? What exactly is it? Well, we're going to hear from one lady who found out it was a lot deeper than any of those things. It really, it's going to wreck you. So stick around and we'll get into it next, right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. Here's Cody Carnes, Firm Foundation. You want so badly for your kid to do well in school because they need to have good grades to set themselves up for the next chapter of life, right? It might be college, it might be straight into the workforce. I don't know, but you want your kid to learn. You want them to excel at school, make good grades, right? But what happens when your kid is not making those good grades? Yeah, I know. It's tough. You're thinking, maybe I'm just not doing enough here at the house. And then you're asking, is she just not focusing? Is he just distracted? What's going on? And it becomes a problem. And then you start talking with your kid about it, of course, keeping them in the conversation. But this next story, is going to keep us cautious as to how we talk with our kids about their school problems, because that's really the root of this guy's problem. Here, I'm going to let this lady tell you just a little bit more about it. Her name is Shelby, and she's got some family friends who have a 13-year-old. And this is what she has to share that I think we all can learn from.
I had a 13-year-old boy teach me something really profound the other day. So his parents were talking to me about how frustrated they were with how he just didn't seem like he cared about school anymore. And he just seemed completely apathetic. That whenever they talked to him about it, it was like they were talking to a brick wall, and they felt super frustrated. So their approach to him was like, what is going on with you? We have to stay on top of you every 5 minutes to make sure you get anything done. Do you even care about school? Like, it's at least minimally important that you try. Like, what the heck is going on with you? And it was sort of like they were worried, but it was coming across as sort of like critical and judgmental and sort of a little forceful. And I can understand because the parents were worried. But I was talking with this kid and I asked him, I was like, so what is happening? And he had a hard time articulating it at first. But the more that I started to pull and talk and dig a little bit to ask what is happening, he said, it's like nobody even believes in me anymore. They all just think I'm gonna fail. And he started to cry. He started to say, like, I just want someone to believe in me. So his perception of his parents' pressure was that they didn't care and that they didn't believe in him. And it really hurt his feelings. And what he wound up saying is that it completely shut him down enough that he just felt, defeated. And he almost felt like, why bother? Because no matter how hard I try, they talk to me this way. They treat me this way. And it was the emotional approach that was shutting him down, and it was making him feel so sad. It was actually manifesting into what his parents didn't want, which was like the lack of trying. So I encouraged him to go talk to his parents, and he did. I was a bit of a help with that. And these parents are good friends of mine, but they ended up just being near tears themselves once he shared with them what was happening. And they were able to say, oh my gosh, we're so sorry. Like, we believe in you the most. we were just scared that we didn't understand why you were acting the way that you were. We thought it meant that you didn't care. And he said, no, I care a lot. I care a lot about school, but I care more that you believe in me. Wow. So I just felt like I should reinforce that. Make sure you're conveying a message of believing in your kids, even when you're scared. Because sometimes when we get scared as parents, we come across as like critical and shamey and judgmental. And that their shutdown might not be them not caring. It might be that they're hurt by your reaction and they're sort of like frozen and don't know how to respond because they're feeling ashamed or bad that they've let you down. They want to feel like we believe in them. So, yeah, lessons from a 13-year-old boy.
Just some food for thought this morning. It might be the way that we're handling the situation that's causing them to shut down. You ever been the kid in the middle of the shutdown before? Yeah, not fun, right? But I know you're trying the best you can, Mom and Dad. So keep up the good work and just assess how you're handling that situation. We're always trying to do things a little bit better, right? Here's Patrick Mayberry. So my 9-year-old daughter, Grace, was asking me over the weekend, hey, Dad, when you go to summer camp, do you have a lot of, field trips? I said, well, not really, because when you go to summer camp, you have all the stuff to do there. You've got the cabins, you stay there, at the camp, and you have meals there, and you go hiking and fishing and arts and crafts, and you do all kinds of stuff, right? Obstacle courses. And so she's so excited about the idea of summer camp. Yeah, I think it's great. I don't know how well Cassie's going to take that because she doesn't like being away from Grace. So we'll see. Summer camp might be in her maybe distant future. Maybe not so soon. Maybe not this summer, but maybe in a few summers away. Anyway, thinking about things to do, I wonder if maybe you've heard of people who like to go to what they call a dude ranch. I was wondering, what exactly is a dude ranch anyway? So I did a quick Google search, and basically it's just a place. It's an all-inclusive immersive vacation that includes lodging and meals, horseback riding, fishing, hiking, and more, right? So that makes sense for people who like that kind of thing. Now, those of us, growing up around here, it's like, hey, that's like everyday life. We got cows, we got horses, we got all the stuff. But I don't know, have you also heard of these farms that are opening up for cow cuddling sessions? It's like, what? Cow cuddling? Okay, I gotta admit, it's like super cute, and these little cows, especially the fuzzy ones, those things are so cute, So I get it, cuddling with a cow, sure, I got you. And I see people on TikTok from time to time at these rescues, and they have cows there, and they'll just be laying down out in the field, and that cow will be resting their head on their leg or something. It's really cool, but I found another kind of ranch. This ranch is all out excitement and tons of fur. And I'll tell you more about it. And who knows, you might really want to go check this place out. It might have you panting like, you get where I'm going with this? Okay, stick around. I'll tell you more about where it's at and how you can go and visit. It sounds like a pretty cool place. Life on the farm's just another day at the office for a lot of us around here, but for those, in the cities, well, they love coming out to the country and taking in the fresh air and maybe spending some time at some petting zoos and stuff like that. You have some people who love to go to those dude ranches and ride horseback. That sounds like fun, right? Well, let me tell you, there's a place up in Vermont, and they have a farm, but this kind of farm is a little different. Let's talk about what kind of animals you find on a farm. I feel like I'm going back to kindergarten. Remember that little wheel? You'd pull the string and that little arrow would move around, it land on an animal, and then it would moo like a cow. That's what this reminds me of. But that's one animal you'll find there, a cow. How about some chickens? Oh man, let me tell you, those chicken coops have really been seeing a rise in the cities. More and more people are loving keeping chickens. Actually, I live in Arab, right? And my neighbors, Melissa and Chris, they have chickens. And they have lots and lots of eggs. And those are so cool. And Chris is retired, so he made his own chicken coop. And this place is awesome. What other kind of animals will you find on a farm? Goats, maybe some sheep. I don't know, maybe you find a pig or two. They're fun to watch, right? But these animals right here, I think just about anybody get on board with going to this place. You see, it's all the way up in Vermont. Doug and Becca Werpel. That's the couple who decided to kind of go in with their neighbors. And their neighbors are Susan and Dana. So with them, they have these golden retrievers. See, the neighbors have 13. And so Doug and Becca thought, let's just go ahead and join our golden retrievers with their golden retrievers, and let's see if there might be any interest out there of people coming and spending a day with the dogs. And guess what? It didn't really hit, first off. They had the idea, they put it out there, they had a few people sign up, but it was not sold out by any means. So what happened then is really what made it boom, and that is one of the places there. It's a lifestyle, Vermont lifestyle. They posted about things to do in Vermont during fall foliage season, and they had scraped some of the content from Doug and Becca's videos from their TikTok page of these dogs having fun out in the field, and they put that video out to about 4 to 5 million people, and guess what happened? They completely sold out. People wanted to come and spend time with the golden retrievers, and it makes sense. There's something about golden retrievers. They're just so energetic, you know? They're so much fun to be around. And yeah, they're so hairy and they're slobbery and they're just having a blast. So again, this is up in Vermont, and they said the experience has been going strong ever since. They host groups of 28 people at a time. Now, it can get a little expensive, $75 per person, but the guests get to play with a group of at least 10 golden retrievers for about an hour. Weather permitting, their experience can go longer until the retrievers get tuckered out. They also have pool parties, and they say that these dogs would be glad to chase your tennis ball. So, I think it would be like cuteness overload, right? Is there such thing as too many golden retrievers? But hey, you can find out more about this amazing place over on TikTok. Just type in Golden Dog Farm and you'll find it there all together, Golden Dog Farm. And you can see some of their stuff, and it just looks like a good time. So who knows, maybe planning a trip to Vermont is in your future. Well, can I let you in on a little behind the scenes things that happen around here at the station? So I kind of connect with some different radio personalities from across the nation. And it's something that really started back in 2018 when I got the chance to go to what's called Momentum. It's something for Christian radio professionals, and it was in Orlando, and it was a blast. I mean, I had a good time. Got to network with a bunch of different people. And one of the relationships that came from that is a friendship with Robin Robinson. Now, she is down in Palatka, Florida, where she is on the air at 91.3 Hope FM. And so every now and then she'll have a request to, get my voice to maybe record a 30-second spot for some of their partners. And yeah, we do that. So we swap our voices back and forth. And she got me involved with something pretty recently. I've done this twice now. And I wanted to play a little bit of it for you. So I don't know if you've ever heard of this ministry before, but it's Need Him Ministries. And they send out these tracks to, stations all across the globe. And I voiced a few of these things. And guess what? They used my voice on one of them. And it's kind of cool. So can I let you hear it real quick? I just got it. I was able to download it. Here we go. Here's the one I did for Need Him Ministries. Many people look to others to fill the hole in their heart, but this problem is about more than being lonely for the companionship of someone else. No, you're actually lonely for God. God made you in His image for fellowship with God. Until you come to know God personally, you will continue to have this emptiness. We want to help you trade your loneliness for a relationship with Jesus Christ. If you would like to learn how to have a relationship with Jesus, call or text us at 888-NEED-HIM. What do you think about that? I think it's pretty cool. I didn't know they'd use it. I just voiced it, sent it over to Robin, and she sent it over to them, and there it is. So stations across the world have that piece that they can play on the radio. I think it's pretty cool. I just wanted to let you in on the behind the scenes stuff. And that's how I get a lot of the voices that you hear here on the station is, especially for those business and ministry impact partner spots, those announcements that we do, the 30-second and 60 seconds, between the songs. Yeah, those are from people across the country, different radio stations. So we have some Facebook groups that we kind of connect their on. And so you never know. You might hear a radio personality from Washington, D.C., right here on 88.5. You'll hear my voice down in Palatka, Florida. Or I've done some voicing for other places, out in Texas even, at one of the big Christian stations out there. So anyway, just a little peek behind the curtain, if you will. I really enjoy hanging out with you, and I wanted to share that with you because it's something I'm excited about. So thank you so much for being here. I'm so glad to be a part of this community right here on 88.5 JFM. And we're building this together. And it's not just a community of geographical location as far as here in Marshall County and the 7 surrounding counties. No, it's become bigger than that. Right now I'm looking at my streaming map, and we've got people listening to us up in Indiana, over in Kansas, down in Florida, over in Helsinki, Finland, and plenty of people right here in North Alabama. I'm so encouraged at how I've seen this station grow since I've been here. And I'm telling you, we're just going to keep on growing as long as you'll keep coming back. You keep being a part of this because you are a big part of our story. So thank you for being here. Now, here's Matt Maher with the Lord's Prayer. Hey, I want to read this little passage real quick, and I'm going somewhere with it, okay? It's not very long. Psalm 33, starting in verse 1, it says, "Sing joyfully to the Lord, you righteous. It is fitting for the upright to praise him. Praise the Lord with the harp. Make music to him on the 10-stringed lyre. Sing to him a new song. Play skillfully and shout for joy." Think about that for a second. I love that part, play skillfully. There's just something about a vocalist or an instrumentalist who knows how to do that. They just play with such excellence, and they give so much time into practicing on their instrument and making it sound just right. And I love that. For those of you who don't know, I actually went to school for music. Yeah, I went to Wallace State, where I got my associate's degree, and then I went on to Jacksonville State, worked on my bachelor's there as a percussion major. So I've been around a lot of musicians, and I love the musicianship that goes into making the songs sound like they should, right? And I really enjoy playing drums. I play keys too, but drums, that's my sweet spot. I've been playing that since I was 10 years old. So 31 years now? It's been a blast. But hey, recently I came across this guy over on the socials, and let me tell you, he knows how to play skillfully. I don't know if you've ever heard of this guy. His name is Mateus Asado. Now, he's from Brazil, right? And he's got quite the accolades. Let me tell you just a couple of them before I play this track for you that I think you're really going to love, okay? So, Mateus, a Brazilian guitarist, he's been considered to be, to the media, one of the most influential guitar players of this modern era. His name is included on Guitar World magazine's list of the top 10 guitarists of the decade in 2020. Number 3 top guitarist right now, that's from Total Guitar in 2020. And his latest appearance was on Guitar World magazine in 2022, being on number 14 of the list of hottest guitar players in the world. Okay? Let me tell you who he's worked with real quick. Now, this is all going somewhere, and I really think you're going to love it, so please keep it right here. He's worked with some of the greatest names of the music industry nowadays from all different styles, like Bruno Mars, Silk Sonic, Jessie J, Tori Kelly, Selena Gomez, Carrie Underwood, Elevation Worship, Planet Shakers, Israel Houghton, and more and more and more. And I just came across him and his guitar online, and I thought, this is a refreshing instrumental take on a hymn that you probably know and love, so I want you to hear it. And here he is, Mateus Asado. y'all imagine what it's going to be like in heaven with skilled musicians around the throne, lifting up praise to God, with all the people singing? Can you imagine what it's going to be like? You know, when I was just listening to that, it just made me want to close my eyes and just kind of, I don't know, imagine myself around God's throne. That's just how that track hit me. I wanted to share it with you. I can't wait. This is going to be amazing. Can you just imagine being around that throne? Oh, my goodness. Oh, just hold on. Keep moving forward. We're headed to a really good place. Right now it's 33 degrees in Boaz and Huntsville. It's 34 in Arab, and it looks like, 38 in Coleman, 39 in Bluntsville, and here in Gunnersville, we just happen to be, yes, kissing that 41 degree mark actually right now. Sunshine, blue sky, a few clouds out there, but hey, it's finally warming up a little bit. Let's see if we can kiss the 50s before too much longer, maybe before the end of the show. We'll see. I'll keep a check on it. All right, your forecast is brought to you by Classic by the Lake Express Car Wash. They're a locally owned, locally operated, full-service family car wash and the home of the unlimited monthly wash plan. They're at the top of the mountain in Gunnersville, next door to Gunnersville Chevrolet. That's Classic by the Lake Express Car Wash. Now, your word of life. Today from 1 Chronicles, chapter 16, verse 24, in the New Living Translation of the Bible. Publish his glorious deeds among the nations. Tell everyone about the amazing things he does. Yeah, how many amazing things can you think of that he's done in your life? When's the last time you talked to somebody about him? Told them about all those good things he did? Well, I think maybe today's your day. And maybe you get really nervous when you want to share your faith with somebody. I get it. I've been there too. But can I tell you, we've got some resources to help you out with that right there on our website, 885jfm.com. You just go to the main menu, go to the Dive In tab, and then click Share Your Faith. You're going to find 3 resources there. Well, 2, I'm saying, is basically 1 and a copy of it in Spanish. So we got it in English and Spanish to give you some confidence in sharing your faith. Help you remember what scriptures you might want to bring up and the whole idea, the whole concept of salvation and how it works. Plus, we got another link there that you can send to somebody that takes them through all of that in digital form. It's really cool. So again, that's our website, 885jfm.com, the main menu, the Dive In tab, and then click Share Your Faith. We want to make it real easy for you to share the good news. Yeah, the gospel with somebody today. All right, so coming up here in the next few minutes, I want to do just a little bit of a recap of what happened yesterday. You know, the red carpet. We're talking about the Oscars, the Academy Awards. Quite a lot of those Oscars being handed out last night. A lot of memorable things, some questionable things, as, you know, Oscars usually have. But anyway, we'll talk a little bit about it, and I'll share one of my favorite clips from the show for you. That, I don't know, it might make you chuckle a little bit. It kind of helps me geek out a little bit, so yeah, stick around. We'll have some fun with that. Plus, coming up here a little later on the show, we're going to hear from the real life guy. Real, R-E-E-L. Any of you like fishing? Got a husband who likes fishing? Well, this is from a guy who loves to bass fish. And he's also a pastor, so he has something to say, something to share with us today. I want to play that for you coming up a little later on the show. So, moral of the story, stick around. We got a lot of stuff to get to. And if you have to step away from your radio, you can always tune us in online, 885jfm.com. Click that On Now button, press play, and you are good to go. Now, Consumed by Fire. First things first. Well, did you watch the big show last night? The Oscars, the Academy Awards? You're like, Steven, I don't know. I didn't watch it. Yeah, I understand. There's a lot of stuff that you might not like about the Oscars. I get it. Especially, the host was Jimmy Kimmel. Sometimes he's funny. Sometimes he tries to push the envelope a little too far. But tell you what, I'll get you caught up to speed, okay? If you didn't watch it last night, I don't know if you like going to the movies or not, but I enjoy going to the movies. And there was one movie that I didn't get to watch that I wish I would have watched, but we just couldn't find the time. And that was Oppenheimer. And I wish we would have, because Oppenheimer, it did pretty good last night. I'm just saying, it brought home quite a lot of awards. So let me play a little clip for you. One of my favorite parts of the whole thing. Now, this is going to take you back a few years, okay? And these two are coming up on the stage. Well, it's none other than Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito. And let's just say that they are, well, they've bonded over the years over one particular thing They did a great job with the skit last night. Here, take a listen to it. See what you think.
Well, Arnold and I are presenting tonight together for a very obvious reason.
We both tried to kill Batman.
Yeah. Well, we're going to try. I as the Penguin in Batman Returns.
And that was Mr. Freeze in Batman and Robin.
How did Batman beat you?
Oh, he used my one weakness against me.
Heat.
Love.
Oh. He threw me out a window. Yeah, really. Yeah.
I hate him.
There he is. He's right here. He's right here. Look.
You have a lot of nerve to show your face
Oh,
around
yeah,
here.
you got, to a real beak breaker. I'm going to see you after the governor's ball.
You better believe it.
Pal.
That took me back a little bit. My goodness. So the movies they were referring to, of course, they happened back in 92 and 97. That's a while ago, right? Yeah, well, let me tell you, Oppenheimer did really well last night. They brought home 7 wins, including Best Picture and Director. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. So, if you wanted to catch up on any of the winners for yourself, they have it over on Hulu right now. They have all of the awards speeches. Oppenheimer got, of course, the Best Picture. Emma Stone accepted the Oscar for Actress in a Leading Role. And then Christopher Nolan as the director from Oppenheimer. And Cillian Murphy from Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer got music. More and more. These celebrities on stage, I'm telling you, there were some pretty memorable things that happened last night. A lot of fun was had. And like I said, a few things that kind of popped off a little bit that were a little questionable. One particular thing that I did not enjoy myself is the comments that Jimmy Kimmel had about Katie Britt here in Alabama. Yeah, I don't think she deserved what she got from him last night. We'll see what happens in the media about it, but I try to stay informed on pop culture so I can stay relevant and talk with you about things that are happening in our world, because I know we're not to be of it, but we are in it, right? So anyway, that's the report I have for you from the Oscars, but you can, again, catch it all for yourself over on Hulu. They have a whole section dedicated to it. You can find out all the winners, see those acceptance speeches right there as well. All right. Well, more great music headed your way. Mercy Me to Not Worship You. And that's right here, right now on the Lifeline Morning Show on your 88.5 JFM, making your day better.
Hey, real life guy here. I was thinking the other day, most of us, if we're not careful, can end up approaching our marriages much like we approach a marathon. Think about it for a second. Most people that line up for a marathon aren't really thinking about winning the marathon. Most people that are standing at the start line of a marathon are just simply thinking about finishing, making it to the end. And if we're not careful, we will make our marriages that way. If we just stay together, somehow endure, stay under the same roof, then our marriage has been successful. I want to suggest to you that God has a much greater plan for your marriage. In fact, in Ephesians 5, he tells the husbands to love their wives the way Christ loved the church. So you see, one of the great purposes of marriage is for the marriage and that marriage relationship to reflect the love that Christ has for us. So I would encourage you, be mindful of God's purpose for your marriage and invest in it. But right now, let's go fishing.
There are so many of you listening right now who have kids, and let's just talk about parenting for a couple minutes, can we? Because, yeah, it's hard. It's stressful, but man, is it rewarding. I've got a 9-year-old myself. Her name is Grace, and I've absolutely loved these years. I really have. And if I'm not careful, I look back on these videos and photos of when she was little. I mean, little. And it kind of makes me sad because I miss those years. And I realize that I don't have that same little baby anymore. No, she's growing up. And yeah, it can kind of be a sad experience. But at the same time, you realize that even now, she's coming into a new season. And there are all kinds of memories to be made, right? But let's talk a little bit about the help that we try to find in the middle of parenting, can we? Christine Carrig put together an article over on Scary Mommy, and I just want to kind of give you a summary of it. I'm not going to read it verbatim, but basically she said she relied on Google a whole lot, even before she was expecting a child. In fact, the people around her called her a guru, a childing guru of sorts, because she was running a Montessori school. But you know what? When she was expecting her child, she thought, well, you know, I'm going to approach this the same way I approach my career. I'm going to do some research. I'm going to find all the best information. So she got on Google and she started searching up different things. Late at night, she says, with my phone resting on my growing belly, I use information as my North Star as my body pushed me deeper into uncharted territory. She was Googling questions like, when does the heart start beating? How many weeks pregnant until you can feel your baby move? And then up until birth, it's like how close should my contractions be before I go to the hospital? And then after the baby came home, how much tummy time should a 2-month-old have? And it kept going and going. And she said initially, the questions that she had were really easy to answer because the answers were, you know, in either a number form or a range of numbers and either yes or no answers. But she started to realize as things got more complex and they ended up having 4 kids, that not all that information on the internet is very accurate. I love the way she put it. She said this was some kind of disembodied information that's taken completely out of context, that an algorithm is pushing to us in the middle of the night as we're doom scrolling on our phones. And I thought that is so relatable. You know what I mean? Because there are all kinds of answers out there. But the problem is they don't have the same context for your situation. So, the moral of this story is you can look and look and look for all the information you can find on the internet. Is it all going to fit? No, it's not. It's one of those things you kind of have to learn as you go. But hey, at the same time, don't reinvent the wheel, right? I'm sure you have some people around you who have been there and done that. Maybe even your parents still around. You can bounce some ideas off of them, you know, and grandparents. You've got a community around you that are willing to help. And if you just ask for some advice, I'm sure they'll give it to you. And for those of us who are willing to give the advice, but people aren't asking, let's be careful about that because, you know, unprovoked advice can sometimes come off as rude. I just wanted to throw that out there. But, Mom, I want to let you know, keep up the good work. You're doing a great job. And yes, it's hard. It's supposed to be. But it's worth it. Now, we talked about it from the mom perspective. Let's talk about it from the dad perspective coming up shortly with a little help from our funny friend, Matt Mitchell. He's got a few tidbits, a few pieces of information to pass along that I think might just make you giggle. And it might be a little too relatable, but we're going to do it anyway. And now, with a little parenting advice, I present to you Matt Mitchell.
Here are a few things that nobody warned me about before becoming a parent. Number 1, the diaper genie or pail or whatever device you have that promises to trap those odors does not. What it does is it bottles up those odors real tight. And then every once in a while when you gotta drop another one in there, you have to unseal that bottle because you're popping another treat inside the forbidden Pez dispenser. So there is no way that you're not gonna smell it. And let me tell you, a diaper genie that you forgot to empty out before you left to go on vacation will change you. Guys, you may not have a strong opinion right now on what kind of clothes your baby's gonna wear, but that'll change. Trust me, because now I have very strong opinions on the use of buttons on babies' clothes. Number 1, why do they exist? And it is always the little special Christmas outfit or the Easter outfit that you have to put on them on the most stressful day of the year. So I don't know why we're making it harder on ourselves. Snaps exist for a reason. Let's use them. There's no reason why we need to be dressing our child like some Victorian era clown wearing MC Hammer capri pants. Also, did you know that there are some with magnets? They just work. Okay, this is the future, y'all. Let's try living in it. Another thing, if your child has developed a special bond with a stuffed animal or a lovey, and by special bond I mean they can't go to sleep without it, and I highly recommend that you go back wherever you found that thing and buy 40 of them at a minimum. And keep that stash a secret. What you're gonna wanna do is take the original out of rotation and put in a new one every so often. Gotta keep them all worn the exact same. Because trust me, the child will find out. They can tell if they've been binky bamboozled. Another thing, if your kid falls asleep just 5 minutes, one evening before bed, your entire sleep schedule is ruined. If you even had a sleep schedule. I don't know anyone that does. Just a 5-minute nap at 6 p.m. will give a 3-year-old the energy of 30 adult triathletes. I don't understand how it works. I think science should look into it. I'm just saying, I have yelled while my child is in the back seat about to go to sleep just so I can keep them awake. Yelled for a good 30 minutes, and I have zero shame about it. You're either Team Blippi or you're Team Miss Rachel, but collectively, we all come together and hate Cocomelon. And if that sentence makes zero sense to you, cherish these moments. You will introduce your kids to a song from your past that you love, and then in that moment, you will then realize for the first time how inappropriate those lyrics are. And then you'll realize why Kids Bop exists. Take Hey Ya, for example. Don't want to meet your daddy, just want you in my caddy. Don't want to meet your mama, because I don't want to meet your mama. Yeah, that's what Kids Bop does. Just repeat the last clean line again. It's zero effort, but I love them for it. Lastly, going through old pictures on your phone, and by old I mean like just a year ago, is both simultaneously adorable and kind of heartbreaking because you'll realize that you'll never have that little baby again. So cherish these moments, you know, even when you step on Legos in the middle of the night.
Love it. That's Matt Mitchell. You can find him over on the socials. A.L. Ostrich is how you find him. He's got some pretty funny stuff. I'm working on getting him in the studio, either on Zoom or actually here in person. I'll tell you more as we get a little closer to that, but it's in the works. And he's joined us before, so I know he'll come back. All right. Hey, that's going to wrap it up for me today here on the Lifeline Morning Show. I hope you've had a great morning so far, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. But before I bid you adieu, I want to share with you a very inspiring quote. Today's inspiring quote of the day. All right, so here we go. The first one is this, because it's a twofer today. You live out the confusions until they become clear. That's right. Sometimes you are confused by the things around you, but you know who'll give you some clarity on that? God. Yeah, he will. Why don't you talk with him about it? He might show you the behind the scenes stuff, a little bit of why things are the way they are, because he knows all about it. So you can trust him there. So there's that. And then I thought it went so well with this from Adam Alter. He said, somewhere between perfect success and abject failure is a sweet spot that maximizes long-term progress. Let's talk about it for a second. That sweet spot. Are you in it right now? That spot where you're progressing, it's getting better, you're noticing things are getting better as you go along. That's a great place to be. So many times we want to reach the top of the mountain or the top of the ladder, but we're not focusing on what's happening to us right now, you know? Because when it really comes down to it, that's what matters, is how are we developing? How are we changing? And then how are we interacting with the people around us? Because this life is all about relationships, right? Yeah. So, hey, I want to challenge you with something, and I'll take the challenge too. Let's find a way to make somebody's day better today. It could be in a little minute detail. It could be holding the door open for somebody. It could be greeting somebody with a smile. It could be actually being nice to that person that you don't like to hang around at work. I know we've all got that person, so maybe spend a little extra time with that person today. Yeah. All right. So just a few ideas, but you can figure that out too. So anyway, see you right back here tomorrow from 6 to 10 for another Lifeline Morning Show. I can't wait. Remember, you can pick up today's show as a podcast over on Spotify. Just type in Lifeline Morning Show over on Spotify podcast. All right, see you tomorrow.